Hello folks, today I'm going to run through and review Terra Pyramides. So Terra Pyramides came out in 2023, so a couple of years ago as of this video, and it's by Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling. If you're into board games, those two names should ring a bell. They're behind classics such as Azul, El Grande, Having an Ale, so definitely not lightweights when it comes to board game designers, which really makes this all the more surprising because this game has been completely ignored by the board game reviewosphere. Um, I looked on YouTube, I couldn't really find any reviews about this game. Nobody has talked about it, and it's been out for 2 years now. It's almost as if this game didn't exist. Nobody has mentioned it. There hasn't been a peep about this game online. There's a couple of videos on the YouTubes that are badly lit, recorded in like someone's basement, and it's in another language. But anyway, in this video, I am going to give it a run through, give it a playthrough, and tell you what I think about it. But before I do, turn on the Klingon titles because if I make mistakes, that's where I will post them. So let's check it out. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Terra Pyramides. And it is 2000 BC, and we are competing with the other players to see who can build the most pyramids, who can claim the most pyramids, and who can build them up the highest. Now, today I'm going to be showing you the base game, but Terra Pyramides actually comes with two expansions. It comes with the river expansion, and it also comes with the Horus expansion. So the Horus expansion and the Nile expansion. And within these expansions, there are additional game components, there are additional manuals, additional rules, some additional boards, and additional pieces. So once you are comfortable with the base game, it's recommended that you um, uh, incorporate some of these expansions as they complicate the rules a bit and make the game a little bit more in depth. If you're interested in me covering those expansions, then please leave a comment below, and if enough people show interest, I'll cover those expansions as well. So what are we doing here in Terra Pyramides? Like I said, we are competing over who can build the most pyramids, who can claim the most pyramids, and who can build them the highest. We have money that we can use to buy building blocks. We can also use them to buy additional workers. We can use them to go through these piles and pick out a tile that and basically that we want to search for a specific tile. I am the light blue. Box cutter is orange. And in front of us, we each have our player board. And this shows kind of what we can do. So we will be building pyramids of various colors, and these are denoted by these bases here. So for example, this is level 1 of a red pyramid, and red pyramids require red building blocks. So how do we get these different blocks? So we have these white blocks, and depending on where they are, if you have them on the yellow pyramid, that's a yellow block. If you have them on the blue pyramid, that is a blue block. And anything on the white is a wild block. With money, we can do, like I said, a couple of things. We can pick a stack and we can go through it to find a specific tile that we may be interested in. We can spend 3 money to buy a worker, and we can spend 3 money to buy a block. And at any time at the end of our turn, we cannot have more than 4 money or 7 blocks total on our board. So how do we play? So basically, every turn we will be drawing a tile from here and placing it anywhere on the board. And we will then activate one of the rows that it is a part of, and we will get all the resources on all the tiles that are in that row, either orthogonally, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. And then we will use those resources to get money, to build pyramids, etc. So as we claim pyramids, for example, we're going to be putting our workers on them. And at any time when we have 3 workers on a pyramid, we can then add a level to it. We can then spend the appropriate colored blocks to add a level to it. At the end of the game, all of the pyramids that we have and the foundations that we've claimed, we will get the points visible at the top. So for example, if we have a level 2, that's worth 10 points. If we just have that level 1, that's worth 5 points. And here we can see the cost associated with building each level. So this is a level 1 red pyramid. It's worth 5 points, and it costs 1 red block to build. Here, once we put this on here, or to get to the next level, it's worth 10 points, and it costs 2 red blocks to build to get it to a level 2. So that will all become more clear as we start playing. So now before we begin though, we have to do one more setup step, and we have to set the initial tiles. So we're going to randomly draw from this foundation pile here. So we'll put these beginning foundations here on these basically places where you can build pyramids. And then we're going to draw 4 random tiles from the tile stack to get going. And so let's see, we will go here, we will go here, and we will go here, and we will take one from all the way over here, and we will put that here. Once we've placed them, we can turn them over. So here we have a 2-point foundation. Here we have a 1-point foundation. And here we have another 2-point foundation. So these foundations do not have a color yet. Okay. And then if we turn these tiles over, we can see what they do. Okay. All right. And here we go. Okay. So these are our starting tiles. And one rule about placing tiles is the stairs. So this right here, I don't know if you can see that there's stairs, but if you look closely, they kind of look like stairs leading up here. The stairs always have to be pointing towards either a place where you can build a foundation, to a foundation, or to a pyramid. So I can't just place it here. But otherwise, I can place it anywhere on the board when it's my turn to draw, as long as the stairs face a foundation. And if at any point I want to take a tile, for example, and place it here with the stairs facing this way, I would just draw a foundation tile and place it there. So with that set up, I will go ahead and go first. But before I do, let me explain what these tiles are here. So, well, actually, no, let me draw first. So I will go ahead and draw my tile. I will look at it, and this tile provides a gray block and a worker. So now I can choose. I can put it anywhere on the board. I could put it here, and then I would draw a foundation tile, and I would get 1 worker and 1 block. Or I could, for example, put it here. If I put it here, I would get 1 worker, 1 gray block, 1 yellow block, 1 pink block, and 1 money. If I put it here, I would get a worker, a gray, 2 money, a pink, and another money for a total of 3 money. So then the decision is, where do I put this tile? And I'm thinking I want to put it here And now if I put it here, like I said, I can activate this row. I could also activate this diagonal if I wanted to. If I activated this diagonal, I would get one worker, one gray building block, and just two money. But I think this is the better row to activate. So on my turn, I will put out a worker here, and I will put 3 blocks. And this is just to help you remember what you've taken and what you have. And then I will put out the money. So the first thing I have to do is decide where to put this worker. Now, I can drag these workers to any foundation that is either connected vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. Okay, so I could take this worker and I could put him there. I could take this worker and put him there, or I could take this worker and put him there. Now, why do I want to put a worker on one of these foundations? Because remember, it takes 3 workers. Once you have 3 workers on here, only then can you add to the next level of the pyramid. Now, I think since this is worth 1 and this is worth 2, I don't know, I probably want to put it here. And now I have claimed that foundation. So nobody can take this foundation away from me. Um, and if at the end of the game I haven't built any levels on top of it, it would just be worth 2 points. And so now I can claim these blocks. I have a gray block, it goes on my gray pyramid. I have a white block, yellow, it goes on my yellow pyramid. I have a pink on my pink pyramid, and I have 1 money. So now it's Box Cutter's turn, and he is going to grab a tile. Oh, and before Box Cutter's turn, I actually grab a tile and I can put it next to my game board. And now it is Box Cutter's turn, and he will grab a tile, and he has a worker and a pink block. Now, where might he want to put it? Hmm. Well, if he were to put it here, he could start a new foundation, and then he could either claim that pyramid or that foundation or the new foundation, or he could put it here and he would claim a new foundation and he would get 2 workers and 4 blocks. Hmm. Yeah, I think he's going to put it here. So now, because he has put the stairs facing a place where you can build a pyramid, you automatically draw a foundation tile and you place it there. So it's another 2-point foundation. And then he gets all of his resources. So he gets 4 blocks. He gets 1 pink, 1 yellow, 1 gray, another pink, and he gets 2 workers right there and right there, and he gets a money. So now he has to decide where to put his workers. He could take this worker and he could put it there, or he could put it there. He could then take this worker and also put it there, and claim 2 foundations as opposed to my 1. And yeah, I think he's going to do that. I think he's going to come here to claim this one. He's going to come here and claim this one. He will take his money and he will take his blocks. So he has 2 pinks and he has a yellow and he has a gray. And then he will pick a replacement tile for next turn. Okay, my turn. So I've had my tile here that I drew at the close of my last turn. And it is a worker. Let's see, where do I want to put this worker? I really want to claim another um another foundation because I have 1 to his 2. Hmm. I could go here and If I activate this diagonal, I would get 2 workers, a gray cube, and 2 money. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go here, which requires me to draw a new foundation. It's a 3-point foundation. Okay, excellent. And I'm going to activate this diagonal. So I get 2 workers, I get a gray cube, and I get 2 money. So first I will decide where my workers will go. Now I could drag this one pretty much only here. Because remember, it has to be a straight line. So, and this is already claimed by box cutter. So yeah, I will claim this foundation and I will take this one and put it there. So I now have 2 workers on this foundation. If I get another one and I have the required building blocks, I can add a level to that pyramid. And I will claim this money, put it on my player board, and this gray cube. Okay, back to box cutter. What's he going to do? Well, he will look at his tile that he drew, and well, first I will draw another tile for next turn and put that there. He will look at his tile, and he's got 2 Horus eyes. Hmm, where will he put this? He would like to get some more workers. So yeah, I think he will go here. Remember, the stairs have to line up to the foundations. And he will get, as a result, 2 workers. He will get a pink cube, and he will get 2 money. Boom. And now he's got to decide where to put his worker. He could put it here, he could put it there. Does it matter where he goes? No, so I guess he will put that there. Actually, no, he will put that there. He will put this one here, and he will claim this pink cube. So now he almost has 3 workers here, and he will almost be able to build up these pyramids. So let's see what he will do. He will then end his turn by drawing another tile. I will look at mine, and I've got a worker and a red cube. A worker and a red cube. If I went here, I could get 3 workers, 2 cubes, and 2 money. That would be pretty huge. And I would place a new foundation there. And this would prevent orange from going here and letting him have a huge move here. So yeah, I will definitely go here. That requires me to draw a new foundation tile. And ooh, it's a 4. I mean, not that it really matters too much because hopefully I will build that up and replace it with a 5-pointer, a 10-pointer, a 20-pointer, then a 35-pointer, and then if you add the capstone on top of the pyramid, that's worth 60 points. So that gets me a red and a pink cube. That gets me 3 workers and 2 money. And so now I have to decide where to put those workers. I think I am going to drag this one diagonally here. Now I have 3 workers there. I will drag this guy here. Now I have 2 workers there, and I will take this guy and drag him here. So now I have 3 workers here and here, and if I have the resources, I can build pyramids, or I can begin building pyramids in those 2 locations. I will take this pink cube, I will take this red cube, and I will take these money. So now I have 5 money, and at the end of your turn, remember you cannot have more than 4. So at the end of my turn, I'm gonna have to spend some of that money either on looking through that to get a specific tile, a worker, or a building block. But I do have the resources to build, and I think I will build. And now the question is, what color do I want to build? I don't think I want to build green because there are no green cubes yet out on the board anywhere. So it's really difficult to get green cubes. There is a lot of pink though, and there is one red. So I think I will build a pink pyramid, and I will build it here. That costs me one pink cube, so one pink cube goes back into the supply, and two workers come home, and one worker stays behind to denote that I own this pyramid. So now, if the game ended right now, I would have 1, 2, and 5. I would have 7 points. Okay. And now at the end of my turn, oh, remember I have to spend some of this money. And I think what I will do is I will buy a block. I will spend 3 to buy a white block, and that can be anything. And I think I'm going to use that so that I can build the second, or the second layer of this pyramid, and hopefully complete this pyramid. I will then draw a new tile and put that there, and that is my turn. Back to Box Cutter. He will look at his tile, and he has a worker. Oh, I think Box Cutter wants to begin building as well. Hmm. I think he will. He might want to build yellow. Yeah, no, I think he will come here, and then he's got to draw a foundation tile. All right, he's got a 3. And then he gets one worker, and he gets 3 money, 2 on that one, 1 on this one, and 1 pink block. And then he will take these onto his board. He will take his pink block there, and he will then decide where to put his worker. And I think he will put it here. Now I think he also wants to build, and he has a ton of pink blocks. So I think he will also build a pink pyramid. Oh, but he can't because he doesn't have 3 workers anywhere. So was that actually the right move? Maybe he should have gone here. Okay, well, he made the move. He should have gone here so that he then would have been able to drag his worker on there. But yeah, yeah, I think he will do that. He will take back, so he will put back the 3 coin. He will get rid of the pink block that he got, and he will um, take this worker back. Let's see, let's undo this move. I will shuffle this tile back in there somewhere, and instead of going there, he will go here. Yep, that makes more sense. And it gets him the same things. It gets him 1 worker, it gets him 3 money, and it gets him a pink block. It's just that now he can drag his work, because remember you got to drag them in a straight line. He can take his worker, put it on there. He now has 3. He'll take that money, and he will take his pink block. That's a pink block. Okay. And now he will build as well. And because there are a lot of pink on the board, he is also going to build pink. Does he want to build pink? Yes, he will also begin building a pink pyramid. So two of his workers come home, and in order to pay for that, he has to pay one pink block. So boom, that is gone. He now has a ton of money left over, so he can continue taking or making moves. So let's see, he has one, two, three, four, five, six, and I think he will buy two workers. So he will spend his money, he will buy two workers, and when you buy workers, you can put them anywhere on the board that you already have workers. So he will take his two workers that he just bought and he will put them there so that um, he can build again. And that's what he's going to do. So now he has three workers here. He has the resources and he will build the second layer of that pink pyramid. So he will take the level 2. He will put that on there. Put that there with his ownership thing, his ownership marker. Two of his workers come home, and boom, he has just built the second layer of his pyramid, which, if the game were to end right now, would get him 10 points. Okay, that was a pretty big move. Oh, and he didn't pay for his block, so that cost him 2 pink blocks. The next level will cost him 3 blocks, and then that will be worth 20 points. So let's see if he can get it. Back to me. Huh. Oh, and he will draw his tile. And now it is my turn. I will look at the tile I drew, and it is blue and a worker. Hmm. So what do I want to do? I still need pink as well because I have that pyramid. So coming here might actually not be a bad idea. That would get me two workers. Okay, yep. So let me, or do I want to go there? That would get me the pink block that I need. I have one. I could then, but that wouldn't get me any workers on this pyramid. I need workers on this pyramid. So maybe what I will do is I will come here. Yep, I will come here instead. And I will activate this diagonal, which gives me a blue block, a pink block, and two workers. Bippity bop. And so now I will drag these workers here. I will drag this one here. And I will take this blue block. I will take this pink block. And I will now also build here. So I will take a 10. I will give up my two pink blocks. Two of these workers come home. And I will build this up into a 10-point pyramid as well. And that is my move. Now I will draw another tile. And let's see what box cutter's got up his sleeve. Ooh, another blue block. So that means that blue pyramids might be a good idea to begin going after. Hmm. And I think he will come here, which gains him 3 workers and 2 blue blocks. Wow. 3 workers. 1, 2, 3. And he will draw a new foundation. And wow, he could move here and immediately have 3, and he could move here. So I think what he will do is he will first take his 2 blue blocks, those there. He will then move this here. He will then build a blue pyramid. So he will um, take those off. He will pay 1 blue block, and he will place a level 1 blue. And one thing you can do, once you've put your resources down, you can resolve them in any order. So he just took those resources that he just got, used it to build a blue foundational pyramid, and now he can still use these workers however he wants to. So I think he will take these and drag them all onto here, so that during his next turn, as soon as he gains another blue block, or maybe when he buys or somehow gets a white block, he can build the 3rd level of his blue pyramid right here. So that's his turn. And then he draws another tile. And now it's back to me. Okay, a pink block, just what I needed. I'd like to get in on his blue action too. And so I think I'm gonna come here, which will get me 3 workers, 2 blue and pink. I'm running a little bit short on money. I wish I could get some money somehow, and that gives me 3 workers. 1, 2, 3. And so I will first claim these blocks. So I have 3 blue blocks and 1 pink block. And to get to the next level of this pink pyramid, I need 3 pink blocks, or any combination of pink and white blocks, because white blocks are wilds. So I think I will drag these onto this pyramid, and then I will use this to claim this pyramid. Now I do not yet have enough pink, but I do have blue, and so I think I will get in on the blue game. Oh no, I can't. I don't have 3 workers here. But I do have 3 workers there. So I will pay a blue block, and I will build a blue foundational pyramid right there for 5 points. And is there anything else I can do? Nope. But I think what I will do is I think I will, at any time I can do this, I will turn in this yellow and red block for 1 white block. And the reason I'm doing that is so that next turn I can build another level of this pink pyramid. Um, okay, yeah. And I drew this. I think I may have done this out of order, but it's okay. And now it's back to box cutter. Okay, box cutter has a yellow block, so that means yellow pyramids are might not be a bad idea to begin getting into. And I think he will place this right here, which causes a foundation to come out. Okay, and he will activate this diagonal row, which gives him a pink block, a yellow block, and another yellow block, a money, and a worker. So how does he want to use these resources? Um, Does he want to move this worker on here, or does he want to claim another tile here? I think he will claim this tile. He will take his cubes onto his pyramid. So he has 3 yellow blocks, and he has 2 pinks, and he has 1 money. And what is he going to do? He would like to add to that blue, but he only has 1 blue cube. He could switch some around to get another blue cube. Is that worth it though? He has 3 yellow cubes. Hmm. I think he will. Hmm. He doesn't really want to give anything up. He's got this 1 blue cube. He needs it for his blue pyramid. Um, the only one that he could give up is his black one, but he needs another one. So I think that will be his move. He will grab another tile, and now it is back to me. I look at my tile. I've got a builder and a money. I would like to build up this pyramid, so I think I would like to put it somewhere where I can drag those workers onto there. And by the way, if I were to put it here, the rows stop at the pyramids, so it would not skip the pyramids and activate all of this. So if I put it here and I activated this row, it would just activate these two. It would not activate these two. Okay. Where do I want to put this? If I put it here and activated this, I would get 2 pink cubes. Yep, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to activate this diagonal, which gives me a money, gives me a worker, gives me another worker, and gives me 2 pink blocks, which I need because I want to get this pyramid finished. So, all right, I will take my pink blocks. I now have 3 pink blocks. And I will take my money and I will move my workers around. So I will drag these both here. And so now I have 3 workers on that pyramid. I can upgrade it. And now I've got to look at my blocks too, because remember, at any time, the most blocks I can have is 7. So I think I have more than 7. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. So I'm going to have to get rid of some blocks here at the end of my turn. So let's see what I will build first. Um, I think I will be building blue, and so I will be giving up these 2 blocks, these 2 blue blocks. 2 of these workers come home, and I put a level 2 here. So that's 10 points. Hello, folks. Unfortunately, in the middle of the video, my microphone cut off. But I think I played enough to give you a pretty good idea of how the game works. So essentially, we would continue that back and forth, drawing a pile, placing a tile, collecting resources, continuing to use those to build up the pyramids, and we would do that until these 8 draw stacks are empty. Or in the case of a 2-player game, until each draw stack has only 1 tile left in it, and then that tile would be discarded. And then once that condition has happened, all the draw stacks are empty. We then count the value of our pyramids. So in this example, box cutter would have 20 plus 20, that's 40 plus 5 for 45 points. So that would give him 45 points. And then me, I would do the same. So this is a full completed pyramid. That's worth 60 points. This is another 20, so that's 80. and that's 3 for 83, and that would put me at 83. And that's how you play Terra Pyramides. Well, folks, that was Terra Pyramides, an excellent game. I am just so surprised that this game, which came out in 2023, the board game industry, the board game review media sphere has just been completely silent on this game. As of today, if you go on YouTube, other than this video, nobody else has covered it, nobody else has reviewed it, and this is not a board game by some unknown designers. This is by Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling, right? These are the people behind classics such as Azul, El Grande, um, Heaven and Ale. So these are not no-name designers, which really surprises me even more why this game completely flew under the radar and nobody bothered to review it or talk about it or mention it. It's very surprising. It's a great game. There are a lot of interesting decisions, right? So where do I place my tile? Where do I place my tile so that during the next turn it doesn't really benefit the other player as much? Do I expand wide, or do I focus on maybe one or two pyramids and build them up to their highest level, right? That's 60 points each or 120 points if I can build two pyramids up to those up to level 5. So very interesting decisions. It's a very interesting back and forth. I can definitely see the inspiration on some of his games, like Azul, which is also a tile layer. I can see that here. But yeah, very interesting. The uh, The expansions that come with the game are also very interesting. What I showed you tonight was just the base game, and the instructions say this is the basic version, and you're really meant to play this one or two times to get familiar with the mechanics of the game, and then you're meant to add these expansions, right? So we have the Osiris expansion, and like I said before, this comes with various additional tiles, and it changes the rules and mechanics of the game and makes some of the decisions that you have to make even harder. For example, in that one, as you lay down tiles, if a player's claimed foundation or pyramid gets completely encircled, and it doesn't matter who does it, they get all those resources, right? So that's another agonizing decision you might have to make. I really want all of these workers and all of these building blocks, but if I put it there, it completes the 8 squares around my opponent's pyramids, and they would get just a whole bunch of resources, right? So what do I do? After you've added in the Osiris expansion, you can add in this expansion, which is called the Nile. And just like the other expansion, this includes additional tiles, it includes additional pieces. Um, so there is just a ton of replayability in this game. And just on the table, just the look and feel of the game is very classic. It feels like a game that is older than it is. It feels like a game that's from the um, late 90s, early 2000s, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that more of it has a classic Euro, an old German style Euro feel, right? Because you're heads up, you're looking at the board, you're not kind of dabbling and just kind of focusing on your own player mat. You're just, you're really watching what the other person is doing and thinking about, where would be the best place to place your tile, so that it's not so advantageous to your opponent. The build quality of the game is wow. It is excellent. These little pyramids are really cool. Um, they're very solid wooden pieces, and even the cardboard pieces of this game. I mean, the cardboard pieces of this game are some of the best, thickest, and chunkiest cardboard pieces I've seen of any game. Some of the games that I have, the deluxe versions, their cardboard chits are half the thickness of this. And for those games, I'm like, wow, these are nice, heavy cardboard chits, and these are double the size of this, right? So I don't know if you can see that very well, but just look how thick that is. Just look at how thick these money pieces are here. I don't know if you can see that well, but yeah, the build quality is excellent. These little cases and trays that hold the tiles are really good. The individual player boards, they're a little flimsy, but I mean they're okay. They just sit on your table. If you want, some people laminate theirs. I guess you can if you want. I don't think there's really a need to. Um, but yeah, so excellent production quality. Really a great little game with a lot of replayability and a lot to discover. So I'm really very kind of very surprised that this game hasn't received any mentions, really any recognition. So that's kind of a shame. I don't know, maybe Hutch, the publisher of this game, just kind of needs to do a better job in marketing their games. So that's Terra Pyramidas, folks.